You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, hope you guys are having a great start to the work week. Super excited about getting a podcast here. First thing for you guys this morning. And today we're going to just have a little Monday, kind of a brain dump, kind of a Monday motivation, kind of a Monday updates. I've got a list here of a bunch of notes from a bunch of different topics that I've been meaning to kind of catch up with you guys on for the last week or two. And I didn't really know where to put them into a podcast. Like, I didn't want to just do a solo show on just one or two different things here. I got about 5 or 6 notes. Talk about switching over to biweekly lawn customers, talking about pricing and our pricing strategy for acreage mowing and commercial mowing. Got some fun stories there. Talk about snow contracts. We're selling a lot of snow contracts. Wanted to update about that really quick. We also have 150 hours on the Exmark Vertex. A lot of you guys were asking what our review is on that. We just dropped a video. Had about 10,000 views in a day on it. So I know a lot of interest there for the Exmark fam. And if you guys are Team Exmark, some really, really cool updates with that mower. Really, really digging it. And then also, just a quick note about Father's Day. I know we had Father's Day yesterday. It was my first time celebrating Father's Day as a new father. Liz took care of me with food, lunches, dinner, some cool small gifts, and some really sentimental things that she made me as a new father with Emmy. It's a whole story, but you can check out on her Instagram. But it was just a really special, kind of a memorable day for us. And it was really, really good time. So from me to you, if you guys are a dad or a father out there, just want to say happy Father's Day, happy belated Father's Day to you guys. And if you guys plan to be a father or dad one day as well, I would encourage you to, when that special time comes, to make that jump and to when you guys have babies and all that fun stuff. It is going to be just a really, really special time in your life. At least I hope and pray that it's a special time in your life. So we got a lot of things to kind of update here really quick on Monday. So long story short, real time for Liz and I, we actually just came back from up north Michigan. We were at the Bay Harbor area. If you know, Traverse City, Charlevoix, Bay Harbor, Petoskey, and then Mackinac are kind of like the tips of all the 4 or 5 different fingers. If you do your right hand thing and kind of try to show people where you live in Michigan, that's what we do. We flip our right hand over and we show where we're at. We were basically at the top, maybe middle finger / ring finger of the Bay Harbor area. We were able to stay there at the Bay Harbor Inn for about 4 or 5 days here and just hobnob with the locals, get some food, get some dinner, and just enjoy some of the most beautiful sights and sounds and scenery that Michigan has to offer. So it's been a fun couple days. It's been a relaxing couple days, but I'll tell you what, I'm most excited about getting back and just going 100 miles an hour as usual. The guys were holding the fort down last week. We actually had some 95, 97, and 105 degree real field days. The Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I was gone. I helped those guys Monday, Tuesday, and then they held the fort those other couple days, and I'm really, really proud of the guys. So shout out to those guys, Rob and Dominic, for holding the fort. Long story short, this week, as many of you guys know, before we jump into today's podcast, this upcoming weekend on Saturday, we have Together in the Trades, which is a sold out event. We're super excited about that. That is the marriage conference that we're co-hosting with the Almonds down in Nashville, Tennessee on June 25th. So unfortunately, there are no extra tickets available. I've had no less than a half dozen people just in the last day or two reach out to ask if they can get tickets last minute. Unfortunately, the room capacity and the way it's situated with the round tables can only seat 120 folks in there. So unfortunately, it's one of those things where if you didn't get your ticket early or before the cutoff a couple of weeks ago, there's nothing else that we can do at the moment. I'd love to cram some more folks in there, but with doing round tables, we only have a limited amount of space. So I do apologize. However, we've got some, long story short, we're going to have a Together in the Trades conference most likely next year. So if you guys are interested in coming to that, make sure you book your calendar for next year and we'll make sure to get you all the details on that in a year. And then also, we got Launchpreneur Academy tickets going on sale, hopefully the first part of July. A little hint to maybe earmark your calendar November 12th, Saturday. So a lot of fun events going on, and also Equip Expo. Might as well just cover that really quick while we're here. If you guys have not got your ticket yet, yet, go to equip.com and you can use promo code Brian to save 50% on your Equip registration. So super excited about that. That is the annual lawn care trade show and conference down in Louisville, Kentucky. So man, a lot of events going on, a lot of traveling, a lot of things moving forward. It's busier than a one-legged man in a fanny kicking contest over here, and I'm sure you guys can relate with the last couple of weeks in the season. So let's do this really quick. I want to hear a little bit more from today's show sponsors and announcements, and then we're going to go through just a Monday, kind of a brain dump, kind of a Monday update, talk to you guys about some fun stuff, hopefully give you guys a little bit of fun content to listen to encourage you guys as you guys are out there mowing grass, maybe slinging mulch, doing some landscaping. Shoot me some DMs on Instagram, tag me on stories, let me know what you guys are doing as you listen to this awesome Monday show of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. So let's do this really quick. Without further ado, let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer down in the ATL, and we're going to hear from today's show sponsors and announcements, and then we're going to come right on back.
You know the name Equipment Defender. Now experience the safety and security for your lawn care setup with Equipment Defender trailer racks. These lockable trailer racks are designed to keep your equipment organized and secure without breaking the bank. Upgrade your setup and protect your investment with trailer racks that fit any style of trailer, both utility or enclosed. These E-coated racks are built tough to withstand the elements, all while working hard to keep your equipment safe and secure. Put an end to unnecessary equipment damage and theft today by investing in quality trailer racks that you can rely on. Use the promo code BRIANS10 to save 10% on all orders today at equipmentdefender.com, and a link is provided in the show description. Equipment Defender.
All right, guys. Well, let's just jump right back into it here. We've got a lot of things to cover. Like I said, we're going to talk about biweekly switchover, talk about commercial pricing, snow contracts, the Vertex, and just Father's Day updates as well. So first off, I got to catch my breath because I'm going 100 miles an hour here. I've got a Red Bull in me. I'm jacked up. Like, I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm just excited about life. There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes. Liz and I are getting closer and closer every day to our magic number for building our home as well. We're really, really excited about that. I'm trying to get so many different things done over the next 90 days that before we break ground on the home, there's never a perfect time. You guys already listening in. And if you have never crossed the different benchmarks, let me just give you some encouragement. There's never a perfect time to build your home. There's never a perfect time to start having kids. There's never a perfect time to start a business. There's never a perfect time to get married. You can time it a little bit better. Don't get me wrong. I agree with that. You can have some parameters, maybe some benchmarks, maybe some checkpoints, maybe, money in the bank, or you move back at home so you get some parents that can help out. You move to a different place so you have room for the growing family. It's just, Liz and I, we're in that boat right now where we're like operating out of storage units, a little 2-bedroom house, 2 small companies. We're got other irons in the fire behind the scenes, and it's just a wild time. It's just a wild time. So for all of you guys that are just like, sometimes you're jacked up and you're just like making the most you can. You're trying to get water out of a rock sometimes. It's just, we're right there with you guys in the same boat. Wanted to answer a question really quick here. As I stay on topic and stay on point, is biweekly switchover is what I wrote down. And this was just I had this question probably a half dozen times. No, it wasn't asking about my skincare routine. So many of you guys have been asking me about my skincare routine. Hey guys, so many of you have been asking about my Cujo yard paint. So I thought I'd promote them. That's what influencers do, like the girl influencers. God bless them. They're all amazing and they make millions of dollars. But hey, so many people have been asking about my skincare routine. I just so happen to have these top 5 skincare products and my Amazon affiliate links ready for you in the description, which is great. God bless them. But I've had, honestly, a half dozen folks ask me about the biweekly switch question, which, long story short, you have customers, they're a weekly mow schedule, right? Really simply. And this time of year, things might slow down a little bit, or people can realize that the lawn can go kind of every other week for a variety of reasons, right? Some people, let's just call a spade. They're cheap. They're low. I don't want to say lowball customer. They're just cheap. You're very budget conscious folks. They don't really care about the lawn. They know it has to get cut in the spring. They don't really care if it gets cut every week or every other week in the summer. I'm going to help you guys address this and how we handle it with our company to where we cut everybody every week the whole season through. Now, little asterisk here, as you guys would imagine, if you live out in rural Indiana or, rural Kentucky or Kansas City, and somebody's got a 3-acre lot, and, they're like, hey, we're going to switch over to biweekly because it's not irrigated and it's 105 degrees. I can't really help you there. I get that. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. What I always say though, in any way, shape, or form, wherever you live, there's always the nicer lawns, the nicer side of town, the nicer standard, the irrigated lawns, and they don't have to be subdivisions. There's 1 acre, 2 acre lots that people, I do tons of coaching calls over the years, and there's people that have, 2 acre, 3 acre properties, and they're irrigated, and people mow them all day long, and they get 60, 80, $100 an acre, all that fun stuff. So it's not necessarily like a certain income level or a certain part of town, although that helps, of course. For us, there's a lot of subdivisions. I know a lot of you guys on the East Coast, there's subdivisions. Those subdivisions, obviously, most of them at least are irrigated. Not every subdivision, by the way, is irrigated, but most of them are. So I want to talk about that for just a quick question, for a quick minute, because I'm getting a lot of questions. What do we do when people want to switch over to biweekly? So just really quick, hardball answer is, if they want, now again, this is not for the people in the rural, parts of the country where you almost have to, or you have to switch over to biweekly every 3 weeks. I get that. For us personally, in the irrigated lawns, the nicer subdivisions, the nicer homes, the nicer home values, really simple, hardball answer is we don't take on people or keep people that want to switch to biweekly. And so it is preventative maintenance. It's preemptive from the minute you start people up. And by the way, if you didn't start people up this way or them sign on this way, that's no big deal. Life goes on. We'll learn. We'll throw it in our tool belt for our repertoire for next time when we sign somebody up. And so we say when we sign somebody up, yeah, no problem. You guys will be a Wednesday cut. We're normally there every 7 days. Depending on weather, we might mow every 6 to 9 is usually the window. We might be a day early, a couple days late, just depends on the weather. But you're on our Wednesday route. We'll see you every Wednesday. And we are a weekly maintenance service. We cut 26 weeks straight, and then we edge bi-weekly. So you set that standard. And the reason I say that is it's intentional, right? Obviously, we want to cut that lawn as long as it needs to be, to a point every week, because we have consistent bills. We want consistent profit because we want consistent income, right? So right off the bat, when you're signing somebody up, that's that first out to see if they're a good fit for you, right? Number one is, hey, we cut every single week. If they say, oh, why don't you go ahead and do that? And then we'll go to bi-weekly in July. That's already right there. You can start having that conversation with that customer saying, we don't do that. We don't do that. For my company, my company doesn't offer that. We are a weekly maintenance service company. Yeah, no. I get that, but we want it done bi-weekly in July, August, September, whatever, maybe June forward. Hey, no problem. That's great. Unfortunately, our company doesn't offer that. If you're looking for that, we just aren't the right company for you. Now, number two, we're not just throwing them under the bus. We're not just kicking them to the curb. You're out of here. We can sell, we can salvage, we can educate, we can inform. Right? That's what you're doing as a business owner all the time. You're selling, you're educating, you're informing them, you're helping them, which is sell is help is sell, right? 4-letter word for sell is help. And so what we're doing is we say, hey, for the nicer lawns, if a customer says, hey, we would like to switch to biweekly, or even when they're signing up, they say, yeah, but we only need it biweekly, June forward. You can say, hey, Tom, super appreciate you bringing that to my attention. Unfortunately, our company is a weekly only maintenance customer or company. For a customer like yours, for a customer like you, with a beautiful subdivision home, with a beautiful lot, with a standard that's going to have to be maintained because you guys have a nice HOA, we only offer weekly lawn maintenance service. For somebody who waters weekly, fertilizes regularly, your lawn's going to need weekly maintenance. And it's going to make it look the best to keep that standard that the subdivision you're in has. So I butchered that in the beginning because I'm just talking fast because that's the Red Bull talking. I'm at 1.5 speed. But really simply, that's what we do. From the customer when they sign up, if they rebuttal about a biweekly service, or if they want to switch over, it's really simply, hey, unfortunately, my company doesn't offer that. The nicer lawns that you guys have in your subdivision, in your area of town, in your neck of the woods, whatever you want to say, just personalize that to make it your own. We unfortunately don't offer that with our company, and the nicer lawns like yours, they have to be cut every week. Well, yeah, no, I get that. I just, we just want to go to weekly. We don't really care about the standard. We don't care about the HOA. We don't care about this. We don't care about that. Hey, okay, no problem. I totally get it. But like I said, unfortunately, we've definitely loved having you guys as a customer. We appreciate the work. We appreciate the business. However, we are a weekly maintenance only company. And if you want bi-weekly service, unfortunately, we're just going to have to end this working relationship. We can cash you out at the end of the month, or we can cash you out right now, and we can go our separate ways, and you can find somebody that can do it bi-weekly for you, right? And here's the deal: you're not being a jerk. You're giving another out, right? To one, yes, we will break away, but number two, you pull that away. And half of those customers that are kind of sticklers or insistent on being bi-weekly, you're going to save half of those right off the bat with that kind of a statement, because they don't, what did they say? Like the fear of the unknown versus the fear of the no known, or what did they say? The devil you know versus the devil you don't know, right? So they're going to say, well, we don't want to lose this lawn care guy. I don't want to try to hunt for a new lawn care guy in mid-June, mid-July. You know what? Let's just stay with weekly lawn maintenance. It's fine. It's an extra $60 a month, $80 a month. $100 a month, $50 per week. It's no big deal. The pain of them trying to find somebody else is more inconvenient than the pain of paying the extra $100, if that makes sense, right? Just talking out loud. So you want to give them an out. It's not just, hey, you're out of here, you're fired, cancel. Very rarely, do we have that expressed attitude. We want to salvage these customers. We want to educate them. But here's what I will say, you have to be firm with them as well. And if they're like, oh, well, okay, fine, just keep us weekly. I just wanted to ask, hey, no big deal. Now, if they say, no, I insist that we only do bi-weekly. If you guys can't do that, then we're just not a good fit for you. Like the customer is saying that to you about your company. Hey, no problem, Tom. We're out of here. Tom, that's great, Tom. We really appreciate the work and the business. If anything changes in the future, please keep our number, keep in touch. Would you like me to cash out now with your card on file? Normally we bill end the month, as you know. But number two, if you want us to just cash out right now so you can start working for that, looking for that new provider, we can close this account out and you'll be good to go. Yeah, just cash me out. That's fine. I don't care. Okay, no big deal. Right, so when we sign people up and we say, hey, you guys are a Wednesday cut, we cut every week, 27 weeks straight through Halloween, or you guys might cut through November 7th or second week of November, or maybe Thanksgiving, right? Different regions, I'm sure, maybe down south, you have a 29 or a 30 or 32 week season. Whatever your region is, whatever your grass type goes, through, that's fine. For us, it's about 27 to 29 weeks, all the way through October. But our benchmark, for me in the Midwest and up here in Michigan, it's 27 weeks straight. It's 27 weeks straight. So that's my first out that I give the customer. If they say, no, I'm just looking for bi-weekly service. Hey, no problem. We're not for you. You're not for us. If I get a voicemail and somebody calls, I'll still call them back. If the voicemail is, hey, my name's Tammy, I'm looking for bi-weekly lawn service. I'm not going to go into all the different examples, just short story long. I will call that lady back and say, hey, Tammy, if she's in the exact subdivisions I want, or the area of town I want, or maybe that you guys are looking for, right? She's in this one sub that you guys have, or this one area of town. Call them back, take 2 seconds to educate them and say, hey, Tammy, got your voicemail. We'd be happy to take you on as a client. However, I know on your voicemail you said you only wanted bi-weekly service. Our company, unfortunately, only offers weekly maintenance. We mow all the way through from, when you sign up through whenever your guys' sign up date goes all the way through to Halloween, Thanksgiving, whatever, maybe end of December. I don't know. Everybody's different. And she says, oh, well, okay, I was really hoping for bi-weekly, but yeah, just go ahead and do weekly. Boom. You got that customer. You didn't just say, flush you, screw you, stick it to them. Nope, we don't need to do that. Let's take 10 seconds and educate them. And if Tammy comes back and says, well, I really only need bi-weekly, you say, hey, no problem, we're not for you. Now, again, 50-50 chance. You might say, well, you know what, this is the first guy that's actually called me back or says he has room. Maybe I'm just being cheap. Fine, I'll go with this guy and I'll go weekly. And then maybe I'll try to do a rug pull in June or July. And I'm going to go, hey, I noticed the lawn's slowing down. Can we go bi-weekly? And you say, no, Tammy, we talked about this at the beginning of the season. We only do weekly. So you'll get people that do that. Maybe you guys have or haven't. I know I have. I'd say probably 1 out of 10 customers that we sign up even make it through that first first filter, that first conversation, whatever you want to call it, we still get people that get through the cracks and say, hey, look, the lawn doesn't really need it this week. We don't really need it cut. And I go, hey, I had a guy, literally, his name was Jeff. He's a new sign up. He said, he texted me this paragraph. Hey, the lawn doesn't really need it this week. This was like in freaking May, like second week of May. Grass is growing like crazy. It's seeding. It's getting wild. And I literally texted him a paragraph. Hey, Jeff, we only do weekly maintenance. If you do want us to cut the lawn next week, here's another quick tip. If you do want us to cut the lawn next week, it's going to be a double cut fee, right? So that's another like way to kind of weed these people out. By the way, I'm not trying to be right. I'm not trying to make them wrong. I'm not trying to be right. I'm not trying to make them wrong. I don't care if I'm wrong and they're right. I just want to get paid. I just want to make my money. And if the lawn needs to be cut, which it does for the nicer lawns, that's my point too. If you're in the nicer subdivisions with the nicer lawns that are watered regularly and fertilized regularly, right? We need to make sure that we're cutting them regularly. Now, of course, they're not going to need as much maintenance or love and TLC in June, July, August as they would the first 6 weeks in spring or the last, 6 weeks in the fall. However, like it's only fair that we spent more time, 1.25 time in the spring and maybe 0.75 of the amount of time in the summer, So example, it's 25 minutes in the spring to mow the lawn. It's 15 minutes to mow it in the summer. Hey, we get that upside. That's why we keep the same price, $40 or $50 or $60 or $80 a week, every week, the whole way through. And I don't charge you a double cut fee in the spring or $10 tall grass fee or $20 tall grass fee, which I'm not opposed to that. But again, everybody's business is different, right? So I always love having different people on. That's why I love the coaching calls to help you guys navigate stuff and learn from you. That's why I love having guest interviews on the podcast to see how other people navigate all that kind of stuff, to see what you guys are doing, what you guys are charging, because it does make sense to charge a $20 tall grass fee in the spring. However, are you going to charge a 0.75 weekly mow rate if you're only there at the property for 10 minutes in the summer, because all you got to do is mow the grass, knock down a couple weeds, there's nothing to trim, and then you can edge every 3 or 4 weeks? I don't know, right? So I try to be as fair as possible. This is what have found works for me. So to go full circle, when we're signing somebody up and you say, there's a couple filters there's a couple outs, there's a couple off ramps, and I'm not being a jerk or being tough. It's just, long story short, when we say it's 27 weeks straight, we mow through Halloween, they can say, you know what, we're out for whatever reason, right? And then I say, hey, also, we do a charge card on file. And they say, oh, I only pay check. I only pay cash. Imagine this. Imagine the voicemail that you get. Hey, we want to, and I don't think somebody would really call and say this, but work with me here. They say, hey, we want to sign up for biweekly lawn service, and we only want to pay by check. And I always pay 2 weeks late, so you don't get a check for 4 to 6 weeks. Please call me back if you have room on your route on Friday only. Okay, like, you guys get what I'm saying. But this is the whole part of, like, this is how I ran my company the first decade. And it wasn't expressed this way. It's just I wasn't putting up non-negotiables. I wasn't putting up boundaries. There's a whole series from the boundaries books. Maybe I should do like one for lawn care. To enter in a relationship, there's lawn care boundaries. So for a customer. But number one, you don't get to pick the mow date. Number two, you don't get to pick the billing terms. Number three, you don't get to dictate the mow schedule from the day to the how frequent. And I got other people that are texting me, hey, I've got customers, they want to go from 7 days to biweekly. And my answer is simply no, your company doesn't offer that for the multitude of reasons I just listed. Number two, hey, my customers want me to go from 7 days to 10 days. I'm like, what? That's not a thing. Like, those days are eventually going to jumble up on a weekend, or you're going to get front heavy or back heavy on a Monday, Tuesday, or a Thursday, Friday. For all your other customers that want to stay weekly, it just doesn't make any sense. There's nothing that works that way. Like, for a subscription service, hey, I'm going to pay my mortgage every 30 days, but then this month I only want it every 25, and the next month I want to pay my mortgage every 35 days. What? That doesn't make any sense. Your cell phone bill doesn't work that way. My cat litter subscription that I pay $25 for a stupid box of litter every month, they don't send it to me 1 month every 6 weeks and then 1 month every 2 weeks. Okay, that doesn't make sense. So there shouldn't be any. We're the most unregulated, I guess it sounds weird, but unstandardized industry. That's a $150-200 billion industry. And again, you can do whatever you want to do. That's the point. That's the best part about being self-employed and running a lawn and landscape company. You can do whatever you want. You can take the last 20 minutes, shelve it. Hey, that's great. I don't really care. That's fine. I totally get that. That's cool. I'm talking about what's worked for me my company to give us consistent income. I didn't want $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 maintenance months in, April, May, June, and then have $12,000 months in July, August, and then a $18,000 to $25,000 if it's weekly maintenance mowing month in September, and then $9,000 in October. Right? I need 20 a month, 20 a month, 20 a month, 20 a month with a 2-man crew, 20 a month, 20 a month, 20 a month, 20 a month. And I didn't care if it was 55 degrees and raining and spring and crazy growth. I didn't care if it was 95 degrees and no rain for 6 weeks and it's a drought. Okay. Because, and I get it. I mean, there's, like I said, different customers, not all customers are created equal, right? I've had the trailer park customers where I would slay it and I would make crazy production, $200 per hour mowing like 7 or 8 trailer park lawns at $15 a pop. Boom, 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 knocking them out. And that was great for 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks until mid-June when it turned 80 and 90 degrees in Michigan and they'd all burn out. And then I wouldn't cut those folks but once a month. And I remember having, $450 mow days in the trailer park with 35, trailer park lawn customers. And this is when I realized not all customers are created equal. And then I would go and look at my July, August, revenue. And gosh, it went from whatever, $2,000 a month on that mow day route to a third or a quarter of that. And I'm like, dude, this sucks. By the way, my truck payment didn't go to a quarter of what it used to be. Unfortunately, my Synchrony or Sheffield, they weren't like, hey man, we get it. It's been a dry season. We're going to, what do they call it? Defer your monthly payments. Nothing worked like that. So I had to, let's go extreme ownership here. There are going to be times when you're going to have to prune customers. You're going to have to let people go. I've got people that are like, hey man, I've got this customer. He's giving me a dozen commercial sites or a dozen residentials or a dozen apartment complexes. Like, here's the thing. I get it. And maybe you can't afford to dump something like that right now. But here's the deal. You should always be working to a perfect business. You should always be working to a perfect business model, right? Know what that perfect business model what does that perfect customer look like? And let's keep moving forward to that perfect customer. Does that make sense? So I'm still doing that. I'm still personally doing that with my company every single day. We had trailer park customers for a decade. I woke up one day and I realized I love these people. They're kind people. They're generous people. They're good people. They're caring people. They're also broke. They're just broke. They don't want to spend any money on their lawn. They don't want to spend any money on fertilizer, landscaping, cleanups. The budget for these people is nothing. There's no budget there. They don't care. Knock it down and just keep the HOA, if you will, off their backs, or the city off their backs, whatever it is. And just realize like that's probably not the best clientele for me to make an income out of to make sure that I can take care of my family. Does that make sense? So a couple different off ramps there, moving the customers from 7 days to 10 days or 7 days to 14 days. It's not for me. And again, don't just take that as a broad brush saying, oh, Brian said don't do biweeklies. Don't do biweeklies. It's not the case. In Florida or maybe Georgia or certain parts of, I don't know, like the South, you can go biweekly and you might have to go biweekly, maybe because they're rural or maybe there's a 3-acre property and they only want the 1 acre up front because it's irrigated off the road. They want that mowed, but the other parts of the field, the other 2 acres that you don't need to take care of from June forward. Okay, I get that. Or maybe it's every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or once a month. I totally get that. I'm not saying, just like I said, it's have the conversation, be intentional, think. Now, if your company has 50 2-acre customers that are rural and you're noticing this trend, you're like, man, I got this killer business, but then like I get crushed June, July, August, September. Like right now you're fretting because people are calling you off. Okay, well then you've got some work to do over the next 3 years. You've got a great base, but what do you think is going to happen next summer or the summer after that or the summer after that? And here's the thing. I've had to do that. I've had to clean up my business. I had to dump a route. It was a really good route. Made some decent money on it. I had to get rid of my Friday route. I had to get rid of my Monday route, which was trailer parks. I had to update and populate all my Monday, Tuesday stuff with commercial because people just wanted all their commercial stuff Monday and Tuesday. We don't let them pick the day, but it just makes sense to make it look nice all week. None of my residentials wanted their lawns cut Monday, Tuesday. So we did residentials Wednesday, Thursday, and sometimes Friday, right? So I'm still skating to the puck. There's still customers for me we had some customers, two commercial clients. One's like, hey, we want it mowed once a month. I'm like, yeah, we don't offer that. But I called him back because I'm like, hey, this is a nice potential account. It's a mile down the road from my house. I said, I'm really interested in the snow, to be honest with you guys, as most of you guys probably listening in understand. I'm like, really, I want the snow and salt work, but in the mulch job. I said we don't do monthly. She goes, well, my owner, we're doing this, we're doing that. We just need to cut monthly. I said that's great. It's just not happening. And she goes, okay, we'll get back with you. And right now that's still in limbo. But I touch base with him. I educate him. I understand. I say, hey, here's why we don't do a monthly. You need to cut every week. Blah 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 blah. Educate the customer. Had another customer. Similar but different. This one was a pricing one. They're like, hey, our last guy was mowing for $50, and I think it was $50. And I said, yeah, my weekly on that would be $165. She goes, $155. She goes, well, we just got a quote for $90. And I said, yeah, I saw who did it for $90. I said, have you seen the property? She goes, no, because I live 2 miles from that site. And I said, yeah, this is what you're getting for $90. And I sent her screenshots, and she's like, oh my god. And I wasn't trying to throw the other company under the bus, but I know the standard, right? I know what these people need. You guys know what these people need. I guess the long story short is, don't let I don't say customers walk on you, because they're not trying to walk on you, but it is almost like you got to fight for it in this industry. You got to, Bedell's really good at communicating this. Paul's really good at communicating this. You have to put up these standards, these walls. Don't let the mud water, don't let your foxhole get just overran by mud and junk and spillage and crap, coming in here. You're trying to dig down. You got all these people that need help. They're drowning, and you got this little oasis. You got this little island or this little foxhole, and they're all trying to jump in your hole with you. And you're like, no, I can't take everybody, because this thing's going to fill up or this thing's going to tank. It's just not how it works. Like, you got this little canoe and you're trying to take everybody with you, from the hurricane. It's not how it works. We got to be really selective. And if they're not helping you take buckets of water out of your little canoe here, and they're not going to be active participants, then you don't need them. And that means that I'm trying to toe the line without trying to be disrespectful or rude or whatever, or make judgments. But it's at the same point, like, you guys already know what I'm saying. There's certain customers you got to take on, and certain customers you don't need to take on. Okay. And you can weed them out on the phone. You can weed them out in person. You can almost tell, like, who's going to fit and who's not going to fit, and stop letting the people who don't fit in. By the way, and cancel the people that bug the snot out of you. Cancel them. Get rid of them. You're like, well, I can't. I don't want to lose $100 a month or $200 a month. I promise you, as soon as you let that person go, your eyes and ears will be opened up. The scales will be removed from your eyes, and you will attract something new to fill that spot. I promise you. I assure you. Okay. So it's like the old analogy, like the monkeys with the gourd. I forget what success book I learned that one from, or what YouTube video, but little spider monkeys, right? They got the little gourd. I don't know what a gourd is, but it's like I would imagine like a coconut thing that's like on a pole or a rope, and it's got two little holes in it. And the little monkey, little spider monkey, little white, crazy little monkey, Abu over here, he sticks his hands in, and inside's a little coin or a little nut or a little piece of chocolate or whatever, right? And he sticks his hands in, slips his hands in, right? Like, makes a cone, and he gets his hands in all the way to his wrist, grabs the nut. And then because he makes a fist holding onto that nut, he can't pull his hand out of the gourd. He can't pull his hand out of that little hole that was the size for his wrist to slide in. But now that he's made a fist, he can't pull his hand out of the gourd. And so, because it's attached to a trap, a rope, a rod, or whatever, a trap in the forest, wherever you get these, spider monkeys, apparently, probably in Ohio or something, you can't get them out. It's funny right there. You can't get it out. Maybe in Virginia, like by Naylor Taliaferro, he's got those like worm spiders or whatever that like stabbed him and he almost like died because like the poisonous worm in the world. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm not going to Virginia ever again. But that's what I'm saying. You got these spider monkeys, and it can't let go of the nut. So what happens? It gets trapped. It gets sold into slavery. And now it's a little shows at the circus, right? Like Abu with its little hat asking for a nickel over in Nepal. Okay, so here's the point. Don't be a spider monkey. Let these customers go. Don't be so attached to the stupid nut for your $100 a week or $200 weekly, or this is a big apartment complex. It's $500 a week or $500 a month. Dude, let it go. Continue to prune your business. Don't be so afraid of letting go to let go to go up. You have to let go of these customers. You have to stand firm. The biweekly thing, for 90% of you guys listening, the biweekly thing, stop it. Stop doing it. You don't need to be doing it. You're not saving anybody any time, saving anybody any money. You're leaving money on the table for you. You're leaving, and you know it. You already know it. You're hurting the industry by offering this. 90% of you, right, should not be doing biweekly. Now, again, if you live in Florida and you can do biweekly, and it's a great way to keep people on, like I said, or Florida, Georgia, certain parts of the South, I get it. Texas, maybe you guys can go every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks in the off season, right? I totally get that. But like I said, 90% of folks listening from the East Coast to the Midwest to up north, there shouldn't be any reason you arguably have to do biweekly lawn care as long as the lawn is irrigated in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so anyway, that's what I got on this soapbox. You know what? Talking about commercial pricing, snow contracts, the Vertex. Let me just gloss over these. Gosh, that was a good rant, man. That was a 25-minute rant. I'm just trying to put some more money in your guys' pocket. I care so much. I'm like, when I stopped going from bi-weekly customers and gated backyards, at least in my area, 10% of my customers are gated backyards. This stuff just helped me make so much more money, and I just had to stop thinking about so much extra junk in life force that I could put into other more productive things. Let me see what else I got. Commercial pricing, snow contracts, the Vertex update. I think I'm going to save those for another show. Is that fair with you guys? We got a half hour here. I don't want to just go down a rabbit hole for another hour talking about all these different topics here, but I do want to cover them on a future show. So we're going to do this really quick. I'm going to put a little asterisk here on my notes, and we're going to button up right here. We're going to put a little checkpoint. This is a good finishing mark right now. Just a good half hour on this show for Monday morning for you guys. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Hopefully it empowers you guys to get on the phone. Maybe if you get some of these text messages this week, it can empower you to understand better how to approach them. Again, we're always trying to explain and salvage and sell and upsell and communicate this to our customers, but don't let the customers dictate your guys' financial future, man. It doesn't mean you got to be a tough guy at all. I really, like I said, the one guy, Jeff, I did end up letting him go. I said, who wanted bi-weekly, I said, hey, Jeff, next week we're going to have to do a double cut. If you skip this week, and it'll be a double cut charge. Well, I don't think I'm going to need it then in 2 weeks. Hey, Jeff, no problem. This is all via text message. I always encourage phone calls instead, but sometimes text messages happen. Sometimes text messages are quicker. I do understand that. But at the same point, I told him, hey, Jeff, I just don't think it's working out for us. Appreciate the first mow that we did for you. We're going to go ahead and cash that out right now. And if you need anything in the future, keep in touch. By the way, I saw him the next week. We mowed the neighbor. His lawn was 6 inches tall because we didn't mow it last week or this week. He was out there shooting hoops. I waved to him. It was no big deal. Hey, maybe he'll go with us in the future. Maybe we can do some snow for him. You know what I mean? So still make friends. You're still going to be in the community. People that cancel or don't want bi-weekly or do want bi-weekly, whatever, it's okay. Maybe they'll come back around. So think long-term. Think if you're going to be here in 10 years from now, how do you want to treat this customer on the phone right now? Salvage everything you can. Be nice to people, and just be a class act in your neighborhood, in the communities that you guys serve with your lawn landscape companies. All right. So we're going to save some of these other topics here for another show in the next couple of days. But guys, that's what I got for you on today's show. Fair enough. So hopefully that's some helpful tips and tricks and some ideas that'll help you guys grow. Don't forget to check out Equip to get your registration for 50% off with the promo code Brian if you guys are coming down to Equip in October. And then for all of you guys that are going to Nashville, Tennessee, June 25th, can't wait to see you guys there. We are going to be emailing out an itinerary here over the next 24 or 48 hours. So look forward to that. It's going to be a really fun time on Saturday. Can't wait to see all you guys down there to have some R&R and work on our relationships and work on our marriages. So guys, that's what I got for you on today's show. I would encourage you to go check out the LCR Media podcast, Growing Greens podcast, Keith Kalfas' podcast, the Untrapped podcast, Kid Contractor podcast, Green Industry podcast, and so many more. Guys, that's what I got for you today on Monday. Keep the hammer down. Keep the motivation. I know it's hot out there. We're dealing with the same crap you guys are. And you know what? I believe in you guys. I love you guys. This podcast is all about helping you guys grow a more successful lawn and landscaping business so you guys can go out there and crush it. So don't forget to hit that plus in the top right corner that will subscribe you to the show. And anytime a new episode is released Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you guys will get a little notification. It'll download to your phone and it'll be ready to rock and roll for you at 7 a.m. Monday morning, Wednesday morning, and Friday morning as you guys go out there and tackle your day. So it's always there with you. All right, that's your lifeline. And we appreciate you guys, right, Ben? It's your lifeline. That is your umbilical cord to keep you guys plugged in and keep you positive and keep you motivated. So that's what we got for you guys on today's show. Appreciate you guys big time. Have a great rest of the day, and we look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
You know the name Equipment Defender. Now experience the safety and security for your lawn care setup with Equipment Defender trailer racks. These lockable trailer racks are designed to keep your equipment organized and secure without breaking the bank. Upgrade your setup and protect your investment with trailer racks that fit any style of trailer, both utility or enclosed. These E-coated racks are built tough to withstand the elements, all while working hard to keep your equipment safe and secure. Put an end to unnecessary equipment damage and theft today by investing in quality trailer racks that you can rely on. Use the promo code BRYANS10 to save 10% on all orders today at equipmentdefender.com, and a link is provided in the show description. Equipment Defender.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.